government has appointed DIG Thakur Kewali as the 27th Inspector General of Nepal Police. Newly appointed IGP Kewali, who is currently serving as the Police Chief of Province 1, will now lead the Nepal Police. Outgoing IGP Sarvindranath Khanal has been retired from yesterday itself after concluding his 30-year service in Nepal Police. Good morning, I'm Amit Bakril, and these are the top stories this hour. Task team formed by ruling Nepal Communist Party to recommend on the issue of Millennium Challenge Corporation fails to reach any conclusion. Request for more time for study. The government appoints DIG Thakur Kewali as the 27th IGP of Nepal Police. 22 high-ranking police officers, including incumbent IGP Sarvindra Khanal, retire after completing 30 years of service. Aam Aadmi Party secures an emphatic win in the Delhi state elections. Voters overwhelmingly back Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal against India's governing Bharatiya Janata Party. And Nepal taking on USA in the last match of the ICC World Cup League 2 this morning. Nepal hoping to wrap up the triangular series with victory. Let's begin with the national political updates. The ruling Nepal Communist Party still seems indecisive on the issue of the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC, the American assistance of 55 billion rupees. Following the differences within the ruling party regarding the MCC issue, the ruling party formed a task force which has failed to come up with a consensus among its members to submit a report on the issue. Instead, the team has decided to seek for an extension to turn in the report, citing the need for further study.
The Central Committee of the ruling party decided to form a task team on 2nd of February under the coordination of senior leader Jhalanath Khanal to provide recommendations on the controversial MCC issue and asked the team to submit a report within 10 days. However, with differences among the team members, the task team failed to even draft the report by Tuesday, the 9th day. Instead, the meeting of the task team held on Tuesday decided to ask the party to extend the deadline to submit the report. The task team could not come up with a consensus on whether MCC is related with any military strategy. This has further deepened the MCC issue, raising differences within the ruling Nepal Communist Party. Coordinator of the task team Khanal and member Bhim Rawal are against the endorsement of the bill from the parliament if it is linked with military alliance, whereas another member, Foreign Minister Pradeep Gyawali, is in favor of endorsing the bill. One of the task team members stated that the task team could not reach to any sort of conclusion as the representatives of the MCC had informed that the American assistance is an ally of the military alliance. Coordinator of the task team Khanal said the team has yet to decide whether the MCC is part of any military alliance. Earlier, American diplomats met Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and other ministers along with several ruling party leaders and lobbied in favor of endorsing the MCC. Yesterday, Assistant Chairperson of the MCC Asia and Europe chapter, Jonathan Brooks, met senior leader Khanal at his residence in Dallu and held discussion for about an hour regarding the issue. The task team, a day after meeting representatives of the MCC asking for the extension of the deadline, could probably stretch the issue further in the ruling party.
The government has appointed Deputy Inspector General of Police DIG Thakur Kewali as the 27th Inspector General of Police, or IGP. The meeting of the Council of Ministers held yesterday at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balatar decided to appoint DIG Kewali to the post just before incumbent IGP Sarvindranath Khanal retired from the post yesterday itself after concluding his 30-year service with the Nepal Police. Newly appointed IGP Kewali entered the police service on 9th of July 1990. Popular for his sincerity, Kewali has maintained a low profile in the organization and has never been in any controversy. Newly appointed IGP Kewali was promoted to the post of IGP directly from the post of DIG. Newly appointed IGP Kewali has experiences of serving at the Crime Bureau offices of different districts along with several missions of the Nepal Police. Kewali will be serving as IGP for 5 months before he retires in July this year if the provision of 30 years of service in the organization still continues. Although newly appointed IGP Kewali would lead the Nepal Police for a short period, he will have to face many challenges during his tenure. One of his challenges is to protect the fame of the organization, which has faced many criticisms while investigating crimes. Newly appointed IGP Gewali has the responsibility to correct the weaknesses of the organization, particularly seen during the investigation of the Nirmala rape and murder case and the gold smuggling case, among others, along with eluding political interferences. The integration of the officials within the Nepal police after the adaptation of the federal system is another challenge for the newly appointed IGP. Motivating officials for public accountability will be a regular job for the newly appointed IGP, who will be judged for his leadership capacity during the short period of his tenure. Meanwhile, 22 high-ranking police officers, including incumbent IGP Sarvendra Khanal, have retired yesterday after completing 30 years of service. And time now for a short break. For more news, do stay with us. Welcome back after the break. It's time now for the international update. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has secured another term in office after his party won a resounding victory in elections in the capital. Voters overwhelmingly backed the Aam Aadmi Party AAP in an election which pitted them against India's governing Bharatiya Janata Party BJP. It's a setback for the BJP after last year's general election landslide. The party won 5 more seats in Delhi but still holds just 80 out of 70. The AAP won all the rest. The 51-year-old former bureaucrat rose to political fame as an anti-corruption campaigner. He first became Chief Minister in 2013 and was then re-elected in 2015 with a landslide. He has been credited with turning around Delhi's government-run schools, establishing affordable neighborhood clinics, and providing cheap water and electricity. He has also consistently campaigned for greater autonomy, where the state has control of its police force and land still rests with the federal government. The BJP's campaign saw heavyweights such as Home Minister Amit Shah take to the Delhi streets to woo voters, but that appears to have had little impact on the outcome. In our Public Voice segment, we asked the locals of Palpa district what kind of problems are the people in the region facing due to extraction of limestone needed for cement production from the Mahabharat rains. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
बाटोमा दैनिक रूपमा धुलो खाइरहँदाखेरि यो क्षेत्रको मान्छेको आयु चाहिँ नि 15 देखि 20 वर्ष चाहिँ नि आयु कम भयो।
बाटोको स्तर उन्नति कम्तिमा बाटोको मापदण्ड पूरा गरेर जनताहरुलाई सहजता हुने किसिमले चाहिँ बाटो जानुपर्छ।
धुलोहरु पुरै डाइरेक्ट फालेछ हैन, यहाँ अब नुहाउन धुन पानी खान त सबैबाट वञ्चित भइसक्यो अवस्था सर।
It's time now for another short break. For more news, do stay with us. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what should be done to make online businesses trustworthy? And options are A. Bring out under legal system, B. Strict monitoring, and C. Consumer awareness. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now the sports update.
Sports News.
Nepal is taking on USA in the last match of the ICC World Cup League 2 Triangular Series today. The match is slated for kickoff at 9:30 this morning at Kantipur's TU ground. Failing to perform as expected in its home ground, Nepal is hoping to wrap up the series by registering victory in the last match today. Nepal emerged victorious against USA by 35 runs, however faced defeat at the hands of Oman in the following 2 matches. Nepal's batting lineup along with opening has remained dismal this time around. 4 of the Nepalese players, Kusal Malla, skipper Gyanendra Malla, Sarat Peswakar and Vinod Bhandari have secured half-centuries in the ongoing series so far. While Nepal is hoping to end the series with a win, the USA too is expecting for its first victory in the tournament. The Ribbon Army Club has climbed back to the top of the Martis Memorial 8 Division League table after blanking Brigade Boys Club 3-0 yesterday. In the match played at the Infa complex in Sadabato, Lalitpur, Bharat Khawas gave Ribbon Army Club an early lead by scoring a goal through a header in the 8th minute. In the second half, Vikas Tamang doubled Ribbon Army's lead by scoring in the 54th minute. Teik Bahadur scored in the 70th minute to seal the convincing 3-0 win over Brigade Boys Club. With the win, Ribbon Army Club has climbed back to the top spot of the league table with 29 points from 12 matches. Matinir Club is close behind in the second position with 28 points from 12 matches. Meanwhile, Manang Mersangdi club has climbed to the third spot of the league table with a 2-0 victory over Nepal Police Club. In the match played at the Infra Complex yesterday, Bimal Rana opened the scoring for Manang Mersangdi in the 32nd minute after a mistake by Anjan Rai. Anjan Vista doubled Manang Mersangdi's lead through a header in the 43rd minute to seal the 2-0 win over Nepal Police Club. With the win, Mersangdi has regained the third position in the league table with 25 points from 12 matches. Likewise, Nepal Police Club is in the 6th position with 17 points. In another match played earlier yesterday, three-star club defeated New Road team NRT by a solitary goal. Dipesh Khale scored the only goal of the match in the 76th minute to give three-star the much-deserved win. Three-star club is now in the 4th position of the points table with 23 points, while NRT is in the 8th spot with 15 points. It's time now for our special segment, Laugh Out Loud.
In what has turned out to be a very controversial, first-of-its-kind decision in the country's judicial history, the Corruption Watchdog Commission for Investigation for Abuse of Authority has dropped cases against high-profile defendants. The social media and TikToks were abuzz since last Wednesday with light-hearted comments that a new precedent has now started in the country's judiciary as no cases will be filed if the guilty party agrees to return the bribe money. This is after the anti-graft body CIAA dropped cases against the ruling Nepal Communist Party General Secretary Vishnu Paudel, his son Nabin Paudel, and Supreme Court Judge Kumar Regmi. When the Corruption Watchdog initially filed cases against 175 individuals in the now infamous Lalita Niwas land scandal, the list of high-profile individuals included the names of Paudel duo and Regmi. However, the cases were not registered against them after they agreed to return the land under their name to the government, which is quite an extraordinary precedent, it has to be said. Meanwhile, the Corruption Watchdog's decision to file a case against the deputy leader of the main opposition Nepali Congress has already kicked off a protest program from the street and the parliament. The main opposition has argued that the then Minister Gachadar was indicted in the case while giving clean chit to the cabinet led by the then Prime Minister Madhav Kumar Nepal. This is Amar Singh Pradhan for Laugh Out Loud and Kantipur News Desk.
And before we wrap up, a reminder of the top stories. Task force formed by the ruling Nepal Communist Party to recommend on the issue of Millennium Challenge Cooperation fails to reach any conclusion. Request for more time for study. Government appoints DIG Thakur Gewali as the 27th IGP of Nepal Police. 22 high-ranking police officers, including incumbent IGP Sarvendra Khanal, retire after completing 30 years of service. Aam Aadmi Party secures an emphatic win in the Delhi state elections. Voters overwhelmingly back Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal against India's governing Bharatiya Janata Party. And Nepal taking on USA in the last match of the ICC World Cup League 2 this morning. Nepal hoping to wrap up the triangular series with victory. And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day.